welcome to the podcast featured by mToken. I'm Yashin, who will be the host of this podcast. In this episode, we invited the Chief Product Officer of Litentry, Lilly, to talk about their new product, My Crypto Profile, and more about identity aggregation in Web3. mToken podcast. We're still trying to figure out a name for the podcast. Can you just briefly introduce your background and about your team as well?
Perfect. Yes. So I'm Lily. I'm the CPO at Litentry. I have a background in product for a couple of years now, maybe 6 years. I've been in different industries like online gaming, e-commerce, social, and whatnot. But now I've been really enjoying my time, doing things in Web3. It's been really exciting, and I'm really happy that I've started working more in those topics. The team, Litentry, honestly, it's the best part about the company. Really smart, really nice people. It's a joy to work with them. We were founded, so Litentry was founded in 2019 by our CEO, Hanwen, and he made it, he established the company in Berlin back then. And so since then, we've actually grown a lot. We're about 25, 30 people right now. And everyone's really excited about, decentralization, the opportunities that it brings. I think everyone's a true believer in the Web3. And so we're really excited to work together to be sort of contributing and shaping this.
Great. Did you enter into the blockchain world very early? Because I never see any female CPO in the space, and I find this really fascinating.
So personally for me, I've been sort of eyeing a little bit the economy and the industry, not so early on, I have to confess. But around 2017, 2018, of course, things were heating up. So naturally, as someone who's been, interested to learn a lot and see what people are doing, I've been sort of kind of getting to know a little bit. But I didn't really get involved too much back then. I've only got more involved, like really hands-on recently. And I think the reason for that is, as I mentioned, there are a lot of smart people in this space, and it's just so inspirational to work with them day to day. And so I finally said, okay, this is it. I have to be part of this group of people. I have to be part of this story. It's so inspirational. I see so much potential. So I really wanted to start more hands-on now.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, because I find people from every industry are getting into blockchain right now, and we will see a lot of developer before, but right now it's the people from marketing from different areas. And what do you appeal the most in your day-to-day work right now?
I think so. For me, what's definitely the most appealing is knowing that you're doing something meaningful. There's so much potential to disrupt. Really the status quo. Currently, we live in this world where there are a couple of really big companies that really hold the keys to everything that we do online. I feel like this is not so. This is not the best maybe. Situation that we're in, and I see this opportunity in Web3 to really empower people, like the simple people, to hold the keys themselves, and so to really be able to own their identity. Litentry is all about identity and empowering people to get the most out of their identities, and so I really want to be part of the sort of changing the tide, empowering the people. Really changing the status quo so that the people can have their say and be, truly owning what they do online and what is it that they actually, reveal about themselves and so on. I think this is what really inspires me every day. This is the best part, knowing that you're doing everything that you do, all the efforts are just part of something so much bigger, something so much better. I think this is the best part.
Yeah, it's very exciting. You guys are located at Berlin, right?
Yeah,
What is
so
like over there for the crypto crowds?
it's of course, I think every community has like a different flavor in that sense. I
Mm,
see the different like the different things maybe are a little bit more interesting in the different spaces. I think over here in Berlin or let's say in Germany more, I think people are a lot about privacy. I think historically there are a lot of concerns here
mm,
about the government being too involved based on
mm,
history. And so I think people here are really, really known for being very, anti-surveillance, and they're being very
mm,
protective of who they are and what they reveal. So
mm,
privacy is like super important.
mm,
And of course, it's definitely something that, as I mentioned, is also dear to us as a team. And I think here
mm,
in Germany, there's a lot of talk about how do we make sure that people are able to, remain in charge and fully owning who they are while still being able to access,
mm,
services and products and whatnot.
mm. Yeah, it makes much sense. And also, I saw Product Hunt recently listed my crypto profile. And yeah, could you just talk a little bit about what is my crypto profile is about? Why it's getting
Yes.
so like hyped?
Yes, absolutely. So it's definitely our a very interesting project that we were working on for the last few months. My crypto profile actually allows people to link their Web2 to Web3 sort of identity in a very, very, privacy preserving way. Everything is actually meant to be in a way that you don't have to reveal something that you don't want to reveal. In practice, what it currently does is that it allows you to link your Twitter to your Ethereum address that you own, verify that, and then on Twitter you can see and display your Ethereum address and your NFTs that you own. And also then you can see the NFTs that people own as well. And I think what this provides is the opportunity to really discover, interesting art, interesting people that are maybe in that space. It also proves who truly owns something. And in a way that you don't have to guess. We just provide the verification so people really cannot scam that. And I think this is just the first step. Going forward, we want to add more social medias, we want to add more networks and so on. We want to add more possibilities, not just displaying, but maybe doing something more fun, like interacting and so
Mhm,
on. So there's really a lot of like vision about this product. And so the product hunt was like such a natural thing for us to try and like, get in touch with because we wanted more people to get to know this product. It's not something that is so common, or let's say people are not that aware of such things. So we wanted to make sure that we spread the word, and we were so happy when Product Hunt actually featured us. We received
mhm,
so many comments and support. It's really nice to see when your efforts pay off in such a way.
mhm.
We were really happy about this.
My crypto profile have been around for how many like years already, or is only recently developed?
It's only recently developed. I think people have been dreaming about this. The people in the team who
Mhm,
were really dreaming about this for quite some time, but it only recently came into reality. I think so we did a soft launch back in June with only a
mm,
handful of selected people because we wanted to, make sure everything's ironed out before the big launch. Currently,
uh-huh,
I think we released it in August, and that's where I think
mhm,
everyone now can actually access it. So if you want to see
mhm,
it, you can check it out on Google Chrome Store. You need the extension, and of course, mycryptoprofile.io.
mhm. Yes, great. Apart from my crypto profile, what is like very important development trajectory that a Litentry have so far?
So we're doing multiple things. It's been really
Okay.
exciting because the team's really
Mhm,
busy. Naturally, we're building, we want to be part of the Polkadot ecosystem. And so currently we're
mhm,
preparing for the Polkadot auctions. That's definitely a major thing. For that,
mhm,
we're of course preparing our own runtime protocol. We're busy finalizing some things on it. So we'll probably be able to share a bit more information later on. Apart from that, we're developing a couple of additional projects that are centralizing around, decentralized identity and sort of giving the opportunity for people to be able to quickly, effortlessly to just manage a bit their identities. So you can think about, for example, that could be used in governance. So we have a product around centering around helping you to participate in governance topics with your identity and like being able to do different things with it. We have a product that is aiming to help you in DeFi to use your identity to get maybe better rates, to maybe get different, accesses to different services and so on. So overall, currently there's also, different things happening. We definitely are working on a mobile project as well, and also on a web-based project as well. So people will have the opportunity to choose what works for them.
Okay, so when you start to have the product development process, what do you value the most? Do you have all the users' requests at first, or you just feel like they're gonna be the trend, and you guys decided to develop it?
So I think, as I mentioned a couple of times, we are true believers. So one thing that definitely shapes our development is our own beliefs that we want to empower people. And so we have this vision, of making sure that people are empowered. So that's definitely one thing that informs us. But as you mentioned, there are also, we're aware that there's some needs out there, user needs that we definitely want to make sure that we're addressing as well. So that's another source of inspiration for development, if you wish. But there are many, many ways. I think we're looking at what's going on in the markets. There are different developments. As we all know, everything's happening really fast in blockchain. And so things change almost daily. So, of course, we have to have our hand on the pulse. So that's another way that we make sure to get inspiration for our development processes as well.
Yeah, sure. I don't know if you follow, there's a lot of articles from a traditional internet industry that people are excited about the future of a metaverse, and combined with a lot of like NFT hypes, like a loot from early September. And do you follow all this news as well?
Of course. So you cannot escape traditional media. It's out there. It's in your face. I think, yes, indeed, there's a lot of hype about the metaverse. I truly believe that the metaverse, there's so much potential there as well, because I think different people can really make something for themselves that works for them truly in their own different way. And I really like that flexibility, because some people might choose to replicate their own identity from the liveverse to the metaverse, but other people, they might choose to actually, create a completely different person, completely different, identity, and that works for them. And I think that's really is the true sort of benefit of having this metaverse, that it gives you so many options. With the NFTs, I think there's so much opportunity indeed to really provide an avenue for people to be creative. I think that's super important. And to truly build something that is meaningful to them. So I'm also quite excited about the metaverse, I'm going to confess.
Yeah, we all have our own imagination about what our future be like. Probably we don't, we just like meet each other, even though we're so distant in different continents that we don't need to travel anymore, this kind of thing.
We could have dinner together, you could go to work in the metaverse. There's so many opportunities.
Yeah, totally. Hopefully that'll get achieved soon. Then we don't need to stuck in one place. Yeah, so I don't know if you use wallets, like you mentioned, European or German people are like very care about their privacy. And recently I read the news, like EU is listing digital identity wallet, where in one app that you can have like everything in there. I don't know, how do you feel about that?
So I think wallets, it started, wallets, they started as something that replicates the physical wallet. So it was just about, okay, how do we hold, where do we store our digital money, right? And so it started like this, but I think it started to evolve already, you know, with tickets, passes, and whatnot. And I think the wallet industry in general is going to evolve more and more in the future. You see, there's a lot of competition there right now. A lot of projects are coming up with their own wallets. And I think that makes sense because it's such a crucial, part of the infrastructure for a project to actually be able to understand who's the user, what are they doing with, with their wallets, what are their, activities and so on. I think this is going to mean that in the future there will be a lot of innovation in the wallet space. I think wallets will just explode in terms of functionality. Very likely there's going to be a lot more functionality coming in, and we already see projects, adding some of these things as well. For the EU, I don't know. I think they're trying to achieve something with this initiative. So I'm interested to see what comes out of it. I'm not sure about.
Yeah, it's
what
like
they do with
gather
it.
all your personal information
Yeah,
together,
so
like a
I'm a
passport aggregator.
I'm a bit like, how are they going to use that? But okay, let's see. But I think yes, I think the wallet space is going to get very, very interesting in the future.
Yeah, it is. Apart from the traditional way that the government are building, I think we in the crypto world, we have our own wallet, even though right now it's just like a one address. But in the future, I think the development trajectory could be more personalized and customized way that for us to prepare to enter into the metaverse world. As you mentioned, Litentry is building the support for cross-chain identity.
Yes.
Could you briefly explain why digital identity is needed and what is the meaning and innovation of it?
So I think identity, when people hear identity and they are like, oh, I don't want to reveal who I am and so on. So we're not interested in your KYC and so on. When we say identity, it's about understanding more like behavioral or more about are you a trusty user or not? So while still preserving your privacy, while still, keeping you anonymous and so on. And I think a lot of services currently are, a bit lacking still in Web3. I think they'll be becoming more and more offerings in the future. And I think there will be more need for projects to be able to verify some of their users while still, preserving their anonymity. And I think people would really be able to benefit from having that sort of identity and having that sort of power over their identity, who they share it with, how much they share, and so on. In DeFi, for example, imagine that you would be able to share your, let's say, maybe credit history, or maybe you would have like a score that's based on your activity to prove that you're a legitimate user. And maybe that gives you an access to different services, or maybe a better collateralization rate, for example. So I think this could be very beneficial, but everything will be done with the permission of the user. So we're not gonna like, harvest anything. We're just gonna make sure that we empower the people. So if they choose, then they can use it.
Yeah, this makes a lot of sense. But I feel like people who was surfing the internet back the early 1990 was more wanted to create another identity that's not related to the reality. And probably people will have like a double different identity, and because they're scared of their privacy get revealed or something. Did Litentry do any of this to helping people protect their identity at the same time as well?
So we're doing actually a lot of things to help preserve, the privacy. One thing that we want to do more of is actually educate people, so they're really, that there's not this hesitancy, but that they really know how to make the most out of their identity and how to actually protect and to use their identity in a way that truly serves them whenever they want. And if they don't want, then they don't use it. We're also investing a lot in, technology to make sure that, in terms of actually preserving the data, we're actually not storing anything. We're encrypting everything. Everything is actually, built in a way that is using a lot of privacy preserving methodologies. And so we're investing a lot also on that end to make sure that there's no compromisation or anything like it. And so I think that in terms of like how Litentry is supporting people, there's also a lot to be, developed further in the future. But I definitely want to say that we're making already the first steps.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'll have my last question. Like, I think for crypto projects, it's very important to create their community. And right now, people are like referring DAOs. And what's the community? How to say, like a geographic line is about Litentry right now?
All right. So we're also really excited about DAOs. I'm just going to mention
Mm-hmm.
that. In terms of communities, the community is super important to us. We try to be very engaged with our communities. We have multiple communities. Currently, as I mentioned, so we are a Berlin-based company. So of course, we have a German community. We definitely have a couple of European communities, like in Turkey, in Italy, in France, and so on. Obviously, we have a huge community, huge following in China. Of course, it being a huge market. Of course, Vietnam is another very vibrant community that we have. A lot of people on there very engaged with us. Korea is another interesting market for us. We have a community there. And I think we're starting to do more and more with our community there. So actually I think we have more than 20 communities globally. Some of them, of course, are more active than others, but I think for us, it's definitely one of the big tickets on our map. Let's put it that way, that we definitely want to, listen to our community and engage with them, and just making sure that, they also have a say in how things are going.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Thank you very much for joining the podcast.
Thank you for having me here as well.